crochet lovers! Today I'm gonna show you how to crochet this lovely cardigan by using simple granny squares. We learned how to crochet simple granny squares in our previous tutorial. Now it's time to connect them together and create this new design. This cardigan consists of 6 parts that are back panel, 2 front panels, 2 sleeves and a hoodie part. Before we start, hope you don't forget to subscribe my channel and hit the bell button in order to be informed about my new design tutorials. Let's start to crochet today's project. Today's cardigan will be for my aunt, therefore it will be in small size. I prefer to use 20 granny squares for back panel and 20 granny squares for both of the front panels. First part. Before I start crocheting this lovely cardigan, I clustered my granny squares according to their colors. Then I put them in an order and took a picture of them in order not to be confused as I go. Then I decided to attach them by using a black yarn. At this point, I grabbed my first granny square in order to start my project. I start with a knot from the corner and I added a couple of more knots in order to secure my first knot. I grab my 6mm crochet hook, I insert my hook into the same corner and chain 3. Then I added 2 double crochets next to each other in order to complete my first 3 double crochet group. I will repeat the same pattern all the way along. I prefer not to cut this video. I included my mistakes as well because these could be the same mistakes that you could do during you work on your own projects. Now I'm repeating the same pattern all the way across, as you see. I add 3 double crochets into each hole. Now I came into next corner and I complete my 3 double crochets. Then I chain 2 in order to create my corner gap for the next row. I continue to apply the same pattern, the same stitches all the way along. And this granny will be completed just like that. I attached the new part to the previous panel. Now I'm at the corner and I want to show you how we can attach this latest 3 groups of double crochets to the corner part, just in order to remind you how we did this process in the previous parts. Grab your hook, insert your hook into the gap in between the previous 3 groups of double crochets. You don't have to yarn over at this point, just insert your hook in the middle hole and make a slip stitch. At this point you want to make a chain, yarn over, pull up a loop and make a chain. Now we attached the previous panel, our granny square. Now we are at the left side of the granny square. We continue adding a black row to the left panel of granny square, and I continue doing so and meet you. This blue granny is okay for the moment. Now we continue with the grey one. Let's attach the grey one together. We turn our work. We sort of rotate our work to the left. Okay, you see, this is the right side of our granny and this is the wrong side. I turn my right side towards me and make a sort of sandwich. Grab my hook. This is my working yarn. Yarn over. Go into the corner hole of the new granny square. Pull up a loop. This is our loop. Yarn over. Pull through 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, go into the same hole, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Now I'm gonna do the same in order to complete my 3 double crochets for the corner. Now you don't chain one, you don't want to chain one, because we will attach our group of double crochets together with the previous ones. Therefore we should insert our hook into the previous hole, previous chain, like so. Yarn over, pull up a loop and make a slip stitch. There you see we attached 2 parts together. Now yarn over again and continue with the next hole. and make a double crochet, regular double crochet. Working with this yarn is a little problematic because of the kind of the yarn, but anyway, I have this black in my stash, therefore I have to use this one. These are little, tiny little problems for a crocheting lover. Okay, now we completed the second 3 group of double crochets. Insert our hook into the previous hole, chain. You see, previous chain here. This is one chain in between the 2 double crochet groups. Insert our hook through the previous chain, pull up a loop, make a slip stitch and yarn over, and continue with making double crochets next to each other into the next hole. Now we make the same process, yarn over, make a slip stitch, then yarn over, and we are at the corner already. Now the crucial part of attaching grannies together. You see, this is our sort of cross. This will be a cross, sort of cross, and this is the tiny little hole in between 3 crosses. I grab my hook, insert my hook through the back side of the hole, yarn over, make a slip stitch, see, and complete your slip stitch by doing so. Yarn over again, make a chain and rotate your work, and now we continue with this part. I complete this part and meet you at the corner. Now we are at the corner. We rotate our work, we insert our hook in between the 3 double crochet groups, we yarn over, make a slip knot, make a slip stitch and chain 1. Rotate your work again, because this time we will work the left part of the granny square, and we chain 1, yarn over and continue to your corner and complete your corner by adding 3 more double crochets into the same corner hole. Now you see, there it is, your corner. Chain 1, and we want to make 3 double crochets into this previous hole. Now it is time for our green, mint green granny square. I rotate my work again in order to attach this lovely granny square next to the green one. Okay. I want to fold my work because it is bigger now. Now it is a sort of struggle adding new rows, since the project is bigger now. It's expanded enough. Okay. We apply the same process after cutting this redundant one. Yes. Okay. I start to attach my new granny squares from the right side. This is important. If we make it wrong, it will be a pain and a sort of workload. And since we don't want to get bored, we should be careful. Okay. Corner. This time I thought that I couldn't find. Okay, yes. Smooth slip stitch. Okay. Chain one. Rotate the work and continue with the side. You see, now I complete all the row, all the latest row. I will continue with the left panel of the granny square. After I complete this part, I'll rotate my work and I'll continue to complete all the way down. Now I will start to complete. Then we continue with front panel. Now the back panel of the cardigan is completed. I attached the latest part in here and make a couple of knots in order to secure the intersection point. And as I mentioned before, I am a huge fan of doing the edges as you go process. Therefore, I handle the edges before I continue with the front panel. Okay. See you at the front panel. Back panel is quite big now, therefore I cannot show you the whole part at once. Now I'll continue with my front panel, therefore I turn the back panel to the wrong side and I'll start to add my new grannies, and I'll start to connect them for the front panel. Let's start our front panel. Since the back panel is over at the moment, of course we continue with our front panel now. For doing so, I clustered my granny squares according to their colors. You remember, this process is the first process when I started to this project. I clustered my grannies according to their colors. I check them together and see if they goes well together, nice together, or not, and decide to their latest position accordingly. I think this is the gist. This is the gist of making a harmony with colors. It is the same when you paint. I don't make it longer, my speech. You get the sense. Now I rotate my work, my project. I'll make a knot, a couple of knots in order to secure my shoulder part. I'll start my shoulder part from the back. Now grab your hook and let me do this. Because it will confuse me, that's for sure. Okay. I grab my yarn, insert it into the corner space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again, and I work from the wrong side of my granny square now. I insert my hook into the corner space, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. I'll continue by adding double crochets. Now I attach the first group into my previous group in the shoulder part. I make a slip stitch here, yarn over. I'll continue with the second gap by making more double crochets, and the third one. Yes, I attach by using a slip stitch, yarn over. I attach pardon, I work into the same corner. Now I attach with a slip stitch. At this point you have two options. You may continue adding your grannies together vertically, or you may continue adding them horizontally. If you decide to add a new granny horizontally to this one, then you will continue attaching your next square by adding slip stitch, and you make a U shape, then you complete this part as well, then you continue with this part and you continue to till here. Then you add your new row by attaching the new color and apply the same process. If you want, you may choose adding your rows vertically. You will use X or Y axis. It is simple. If you prefer to add your grannies vertically, then you will continue stitching from this edge and you complete this edge and you add your new granny, next granny, and you continue with this edge. You will continue to make U shapes all the way down. I personally prefer to continue by using vertical approach. So now I'll chain one at this point for doing so. And I complete my corner. Now the right side of the granny is over. I rotate my work and complete the end of the granny. Make 2 chains in order to create a corner. Continue by adding double crochets. As we have been till now. Remember, you want to make a chain in between the double crochet groups. Now I'm at the corner and it's time to add a new granny. This is our shoulder part. This will be the collar part. This will be the collar part. This is our shoulder. I'll add one more row to here, but before doing so, I'll complete vertically this row, this first row of the front panel. Now I continue by adding my grannies, and you want to work from the right side of the granny. As we did before. Make your sandwich. Make your sandwich. Make your sandwich, granny sandwich, and continue. Yarn over. You already have a loop on your hook. Now yarn over, insert your hook into the next granny from the back panel, from the back side, pardon, and make your new double crochet in order to attach them together. Now make a slip stitch at this point, yarn over again, you see this method is attaching as we go. We don't cut our yarn with this method, and I personally prefer this method while I'm working on my cardigans or blankets, because it is just nonsensical cutting our yarn each and every time we add a new granny square to our row. It is like time consuming. I don't prefer at all that sort of way in my daily life. Okay, so we attach our corner. We are at the corner point now by slip stitch, and make a chain in order to turn so you complete your corner by adding 3 new double crochets into the same corner. You want to make a chain and you want to insert your hook into the next hole and make a double crochet. Now we are at the corner. We complete our corner by adding 3 double crochets. We make 2 chains and we complete our corner by adding 3 more double crochets into the same corner hole. We want to make a chain at this point and continue with the end part of the granny square. we continue. And it's done. Now we rotate our work in order to add new rope, new granny. It was pink. You see, I arranged before. It is helpful arranging your colors previously. Now I checked the okay, back part is the right part. Yarn over and attach your new granny. To your granny group. See? Connected now. By the way, I realized that I've made the process somewhere else instead of showing you. So I repeat my process. I yarn over, insert my hook into the back wrong side of the granny, next granny, yarn over again and pull through 2 and insert 2 more double crochets into the same corner space of the new granny, and there it is, my corner, and they are connected. Now I connect them with a slip stitch, yarn over. I'll hide this yarn as I go, this one, okay. I attached them by a slip stitch. And make a chain in order to turn. Now we complete the first part of the front panel, and we continue by completing this side of the front panel. We should complete the stitches then we continue with the next part of the front panel. Now I will start to add new panel to the front panel. These were the colors that we chose before. Remember. Now we can start. Let's rotate our work. Okay. I will make a proper knot in here, intersection point. For doing so, I grab my hook. I insert my hook into the corner hole of the granny square in the cross corner. After making a couple of knots, now I can hide my yarn. I prefer doing this from the back, wrong side in general, but this time the yarn is already black and I cannot even see the stitches properly, therefore it wouldn't be a problem, I guess. Okay, now we are connected and we can add our new granny. Colors are so nice. Okay, now I insert my hook into the corner hole of the granny at the cross, and I pull through, pull up a loop, yarn over, and insert my hook from the wrong side of the new granny square, yarn over again, pull through two, yarn over again, and pull through two. Now we are properly connected. Yarn over again, insert your hook into the same hole or corner hole of the new granny square, make double crochets and attach your double crochet by using a slip stitch, then again yarn over and continue with the next gap, next space of the new granny square, and fill it by applying double crochets and again attach yarn over, continue with the next, insert your double crochets into the hole and make a slip stitch in order to attach. At this point, I think I'm gonna keep my double crochets separately because I don't want to attach these two parts together, since this part is the collar. If I attach the collar part till the end, then there might be a sort of bump here under your neck. Therefore I will keep it separate in this way. Then I am planning to add a hoodie to this part, and you know, from the previous cardigan we add hoodie by using here and here neck part of and the front panel, a part of the front panel. Therefore it will be more proper to continue separately from now on. Okay, yarn over, pardon, directly continuity to the, we don't want to attach anymore. Yarn over, attach your first two double crochet groups, then for the next two double crochet groups you will work into the holes separately. Now I'll continue with the left side of the granny square. Sure, it's gonna be more clear when I show you the latest position. Just give me a sec to complete this side. Now, as you see, we attached the second part of the front panel. Now I'll continue by adding double crochet stitches to the end of the new granny square. Then we continue adding new granny squares vertically till the end of the cardigan. Then we continue with the next front panel and meet you here. By the way, after you attach all the granny squares till the end, you still need to stitch two front panels together, two parts of the front panel together. This is the left front panel, right front panel, pardon, and you will still need to sew them together, and you will apply the same method, exactly the same method for sewing, attaching this part together. You remember, after we completed this panel, we add these stitches to the edge all the way down. Now we will apply the same thing, exactly the same thing, for sewing this together. See, now I'm at this corner. The second panel of the cardigan is completed now. Yes. Now we attach these parts together. I started with attaching these corners together with a slip stitch. Now I continue by adding double crochet way across. So I'll show you the part of this process. You see, I make a slip stitch and attach them together. Now we are at the corner. We should attach this 3 double crochet group to the corner, to its own corner first, in order to make a proper corner of this granny square part. Yes, let's attach with a slip stitch. Then it's time to attach this part to this part. You see, this is our intersection point. We insert our hook through that point, under that point. We pull up a loop, make a slip stitch and make a chain. See, we have our connection. Now we continue this half part of the corner of the blue granny square and apply the same process all the way across. Now I'm starting other front panel, left front panel, just like as we start our previous shoulder part. I made a knot, a couple of knots to be sure, and I make a sandwich with my granny square, insert my hook into the corner, pull up a loop by using our working yarn, yarn over, insert your hook into the new granny square that you want to attach, and make your double crochets into the same corner of the new granny square. Then attach this one. And continue with the second hole. Just like we did before. Easy peasy. Okay, I complete this part and meet you again. Now, as you see, the cardigan body part is completed. We continue by adding sleeves. But first, I guess I will sew two parts together. I turn the wrong side of the cardigan. This is the wrong side of my cardigan. As you see, the body part of the cardigan is completed now. The next thing that we're gonna do, that's sewing two parts together, and I will use, as usual, a slip stitch for doing so. Now let's start sewing. I grab my hook. And I start by making a knot to the corners of the sleeve. This was the corner. Part. The yarn is black. I don't know if you could see properly, but for doing for a slip stitch, you know, I was working in between the V's, but now I will go through the both loops of the V-shaped stitches. Just, I don't know if you can see there are little holes in there, right under the V-shaped stitches. These are the holes. So we want to gonna work into that holes, into those holes. We grab our hook, we insert our hook, we insert our hook into the same corner hole which we start. I will hide this redundant yarn as I go. And make a single crochet. Make a slip stitch. You may use single crochet in here as well instead of slip stitch. It'll work. And I can use single crochets. I realized that in the only one chains in between the double crochet groups. I guess I will use single crochet to attach them together right these gaps, right onto these gaps, and I will continue applying slip stitch for the double crochet groups. I've just decided, you see, yes, keep your tension loose, otherwise your working part may shrink. We don't want that. Okay, I'll complete doing the same process. I mean, going through the these stitches and attaching them together by using slip stitch. Now you are at the corners, you may use single crochet in order to make it secure, and I'll continue doing so till the half of the second granny square from the shoulder. You see, this is our first granny square of the shoulder part, and this was second, and I guess armhole hole for the sleeve would be enough if it covers this granny square and half of this granny square. It will be a proper size for a proper sleeve. So I'll continue sewing my edges and meet you here. Okay. Now we are at the sleeve part, and we start crocheting the sleeve part. Therefore, I'd like to show you how can we start crocheting the sleeve. We'll add a couple of knots to this part. Remember, we sew the right part of the sleeve till this gap. This gap will be our sleeves gap. Therefore, we start with a knot, a couple of knots. And we continue adding double crochets into the gap, chain 3, yarn over, insert your hook into the gap, make a double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook into the gap and make a double crochet. See, this is our part of the granny square pattern. We will continue doing the same pattern as rounds, and we will create 22 rows till the end of the sleeve, and meet you later. The cardigan is almost over. Sleeves are done now, and I decided to crochet the sleeves with black yarn, and I'm happy about my choice. Therefore, I decided to add a hoodie as well. I'm gonna crochet the hoodie part by using the black yarn and the same stitch. Now I'm gonna show you how I start hoodie from collar part. I grab my yarn, make a couple of knots as usual. Then I'll grab my 6mm crochet hook. I hide this redundant yarn as I go in order to make it secure. Instead of cutting, make 3 chains while you start, yarn over, and make a double crochet. Make 3 double crochets next to each other, and continue with the same pattern. Into the next gap, make 3 double crochets next to each other. I'm gonna show you one more time. To the next gap, into the next gap, make 3 double crochets next to each other. Perfect. Now we continue with this part, and we continue doing the same stitch all the way around, and also we apply the same stitch. You see this gap, this was our intersection point for the collar part. And also I'll apply the same stitch in between this gap, because otherwise it might be, or I guess it would be more proper if I continue by using this gap, I guess. Yes, I'll do the second way. I'll go with the second way. I guess this is more proper. Yes, you see? Now I turn my work. I guess it will be more proper inserting more double crochets into the corner gaps, corner holes, instead of middle holes, intersection holes. So I'm gonna go with the corner holes. You see, you may, I guess, you get the gist, you get the idea. It is starting to make sense after this point, that you can arrange, you can decide as you go which way to choose, because this is your creation, this is your design, and you may choose the method whichever you like. Yes, now I'm in the mid parts. So you can decide as you go. This is your work, your decision. We are about to complete the first row of our hoodie. Yes. Now you see, we complete our first row by applying the same stitch to the collar part. See, our first 3 rows is done now. Now I'm continue about 22 to 25 rows in order to obtain a proper size of a hoodie. Then at the end of this process, I'll obtain a proper rectangular shape. Then I'll fold that rectangular shape towards each other. Then I'll sew the middle part. As you see, our hoodie part is done now. 22 rows were good enough. for a proper size of a hoodie. For this cardigan, I mean, for a small size cardigan, 22 rows are good enough. And now I'm going to attach this hoodie by using single crochet, but not a slip stitch. This time I will use single crochet because since the nature of the pattern has some gaps in between the stitches, slip stitch will not match properly. Therefore, I prefer this time using single stitch in order to secure the borders and also for attaching process. Now I turn the right side of my hoodie. This is the back panel because I need to attach my hoodie part from its back. In this way, stitching process will be invisible. Okay, just let me to complete this row because my stitches run. Okay, now as I said before, as I told to you before, this is the right side of the back panel. Now I will start single crochets. Okay, I attach my first stitch by using a slip stitch. Now I will continue with single crochet. For applying single crochet, you will insert your hook to the stitch, this V-shaped stitches, and grab your working yarn, pull up a loop through the V-shape stitches, yarn over and pull through 2. Insert your hook of these 2 loops of the V-shaped stitch, grab your working yarn, pull through 2 loops, yarn over again and pull through 2 loops. Insert your hook, insert your hook right through these V-shaped stitches. You will insert your hook to the both loops, into the both loops, and grab your working yarn, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and you have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over again and pull through 2 loops. Just apply this same process all the way across. By the way, this is the wrong side of our hoodie. So your stitch process, your stitch line will be invisible. Okay. Let me to complete this row and meet you then. This is your single crochet stitch in order to attach two parts together of the hoodie, and this is the wrong side. When you turn the right side of your hoodie, you obtain this sort of look. You see, it is almost invisible. Now our cardigan is done. I'll just apply single crochet stitches all the way along the cardigan in order to secure my border lines. In this way, I'll prevent any loosening in the future. Let me to complete my single crochet stitches and meet you then. Okay, now I complete slip stitching process for the borders and our cardigan is done. If you like my projects, if you like my designs, if you want me to make more tutorials for you, please subscribe my channel and support me with your comments and likes and so on. And please share with me your designs and your cardigans and your color choices by using these patterns based on my designs. I want to see your works as well. Thank you for watching this video and see you on my next tutorial. Stay safe till then.